So let's go over the answers for the first page of the study guide. The first one says point A lies on line M. So let me locate line M over here. Here is line M, and I can see that point A is on it. So this is true. The next question says that point D lies on line N. Well, line N is going this way. However, point D is way over here. So it is not on line N, so this one is false. The next one says that points B, C, and E, and Q are all coplanar. Well, B is here, E is here, here is Q, C, and here is Q. They are not in the same plane, so this is false. Now, I just circled C, E, and B. They are right here. And notice they are not all three sitting on a straight line. There's like a little bend to it. So they are not collinear. This one is false. And then the last one here, the true false, it says another name for plane G. Here's plane G. It's the blue parallelogram shape. It says another name for this plane is plane QEC. Well, QEC is right here. If I were to draw like another parallelogram here, it is not the same, so this is false. For the next one, I'm using my segment addition postulate, and all I needed to do here was do a little bit of subtraction and addition. So for number 6, to find the measurement or the length of HJ, all I needed to do was 52 minus 30. Okay, so then here all I had to do was subtract 52 minus 30, and I get 22. And then for number 7, same thing. They gave me the length of AC. I need to subtract out AB to get the length of BC. So 18 minus 7, leaving me 11 for BC. Now, for XZ, I'm going to use my segment addition straightforward here and just add XY plus YZ. So 26 plus 45 gives me 71 for the length of XZ. Now, for number 12, notice the number jumped from an 8 to a 12. I actually erased questions 9, 10, and 11, which were distance questions. I'm not going to require you to memorize the distance formula for the midterm. However, you do need to memorize the midpoint formula. So let me come down here to the bottom, and I'm going to write down the midpoint formula that we're going to use to answer question number 12. So the midpoint formula is x1 plus x2 divide by 2, and that's going to give me the x of my midpoint. Again, these are coordinates. Then I'm going to add y1 plus y2 divide by 2, and that will give me the y of my midpoint. So what I'm going to do here, notice in this question, they gave me that it was segment AB, and M was the midpoint. So they gave me the midpoint. They gave me one of the endpoints, and I need to find the other endpoint. So my midpoint here, point M, I'm going to call this my XM, YM, this point right here. My endpoint A, this is going to be my X1, Y1. You could have also called it X2, Y2. It doesn't matter. But what I'm just trying to solve for is endpoint B, which I'm going to call X2, Y2. So I'm going to come down here I'll go over here to the side. So actually, I'll go down where I wrote the formula. So what I'm going to be doing is setting up two equations. I am going to set X1 plus X2 divide by 2 equal to the X of the midpoint, and then Y1 plus Y2 divide by 2 equal to the Y of the midpoint. Now remember my coordinates, my midpoint was the ordered pair 9, 7. This is my XM, YM. They gave me endpoint A, which was 3, 9. And I'm looking for endpoint B, which I've called x2, y2. So I'm going to take x1, which is 3. So let me just write here. This is what I'm setting up. Equals xm, and then y1, y2, divide by 2, equals the y of the midpoint. So 3 plus x2, divide by 2, equals 9. Over here, I'm going to set up 9 plus y2, divide by 2, equals 7. I need to solve for x2. First thing I'm going to do is use my Algebra 1 skills, and I'm going to multiply both sides of my equation by 2, which cancels the denominator. I'm now left with 3 plus x2 equals 18. Subtract 3. And the x of my endpoint is 15. I'm going to do the same thing for the y. Multiply both sides by a 2. 9 plus y2 equals 14. Subtract 9, and the y of my endpoint is 5. So my endpoint coordinate is 15, 5. No calculators for the midterm. I will give you graph paper if that will help you. Absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's go on back. So that was the answer to number 12, order pair 15, 5. Now, for number 13, so for 13, it's telling us that line T bisects CD. Now, if it helps you to draw a picture, definitely draw yourself a picture. Remember that when something is bisected, it splits it into 2 congruent pieces. So that, and they told me it bisects it at point M. So I could put point M right here. So I know a bisector splits the segment into 2 congruent pieces. So they told me that CM, this piece right here, equals 3x, and then MD equals 27. They want me to find the length of the entire segment CD. Now, if they ask you to solve for x, we would set the 2 pieces equal to each other. However, all we really need to do here, since all they want is CD, if you realize that these are 2 congruent segments, and this one's 27, and this side's 27, all you really need to do is 27 plus 27, which gives you 54. So the length of CD is 54. However, if they had asked you to find the value of x, then you would have set 3x equals 27, divide by 3, and x equals 9. Notice if you plugged it back in, 3 times 9 is 27, so you did get the correct x value. But if it only asked you to find the length, we don't need to solve for x. So when you're taking the midterm, just be careful and pay attention to what the question is asking for. The next one is asking us to use the figure over here to the side, and it's telling us that the measure of KHJ, this one right here, is equal to 90 degrees. So I'm going to put a little box here. They want me to find the measure of angle LHJ. So this one over here. So this little piece right here. So what I'm going to do first is I need to find the value of x, and then I'm going to plug it back in. So I know that this angle plus this angle equals 90 degrees. So I'm going to do 8x minus 1 plus 4x plus 7 and set that equal to 90. I'm going to add my like terms. So I'll add the x's. Then I can add the constants. I get positive 6. I'm going to subtract 6. And let me write it over here. I get 12x equals 84. Divide by 12. And x equals 7. Now it didn't ask for x. It wants the measure of that angle. So now I'm going to take what x equals and plug it in. So 4 times 7 plus 7, 28 plus 7, and I get 35 degrees. So that's the measure of this angle. If it would have asked for KHL, I would have plugged it in there as well. The next one, again, a picture isn't provided. If you want to draw yourself a picture, we can. But if you realize that that angle is just being bisected, all you need to do is divide it by 2. But I'm going to go ahead and give myself a visual for number 16. So it says the measure of QRT is 154. So if this is Q and R and then T, it says that RS bisects this angle. So if I draw in my bisector, I now know that these are 2 congruent angles. And I was also given that the whole angle here is 154. So in order to figure out what each one of those angles are individually, all I need to do is take 154 and divide it by 2. And each angle is going to be 77 degrees. Now, again, you didn't need to draw a picture, but for some students, it is helpful. Then the last 3 here, it wants me to name 4 linear pairs. I actually have 4 of them. So if I zoom in here to the picture, a linear pair are 2 angles that are sitting together on a straight line, or their opposite rays form, or their sides of their angle form opposite rays. So I have got a linear pair right here with angle 1 and angle 2 together. I've got another linear pair between 2 and 3. I've got another linear pair with 3 and 4 together. And then the last one would be 1 and 4 together. Those are all the linear pairs in this picture. Now, next question is asking me to find the vertical angle pairs. So if I erase the lines on my picture here, I've got an angle that's vertical to angle 1, which is angle 3. And then angle 2 is vertical to 4. So the answer to number 18, angle 1 and angle 3 are vertical, and angle 2 and angle 4 are vertical. And the last question is just making sure that you understand the terms complement and supplement. And when you see the term complement, those are 2 angles. When you add them, they equal 90 degrees. And a supplement is 2 angles. When you add them, they equal 180. And we've been seeing the supplementary more than the complementary, especially with those same side interior or the consecutive interior angles. So all I need to do to find the complement to angle 64 is I'm going to take 90 degrees. I'm going to subtract 64. And I get 26 degrees. To find its supplement, I'm going to subtract 64 from 180, and I get 116. So the supplement is 116, and the complement is 26. And that is it for the first page. So now you're going to complete the next 2 pages of the study guide for Monday. We'll go over them in class on Monday, and then your homework Monday night will be the next 2 pages. So when you're writing the inverse or the contrapositive, instead of an equal sign, you can use the not equal to sign instead of putting in the word not. Okay, so when you get to number 7, you could do that. But if you've used the word not, that's fine as well. Any questions? Anybody need me to go back to anything? All right, so we are here until 12:10. So you have about 12 minutes you can at least maybe get started on some of this. So go ahead and work on it. If you get stuck on anything, let me know. That's it.